Greetings, people of Earth. My name is Rob Wheeland, and my pronouns are he, him. I am an author, game designer, and professional nerd. Tonight, I am the host of Theater of the Mind Players, your friendly local actual play show.
Flaps!
I forgot the squirt gun.
Next episode, there's going to be a spray bottle. Squeep!
Yeah. Tonight, we are playing Return to Dark Tower, which is brought to you by 9th Level Games. It is an adaptation of a board game reboot of the classic fantasy board game Dark Tower. Return to Dark Tower is from Restoration Games, who take these classic games from the past and kind of freshen them up and modernize them. They're like remasters of your favorite video game, except in board game form. And then 9th Level took that and expanded it out to an RPG. Which I as a designer, I find the whole thing fascinating. I know that I've always kind of like it. Every dungeon master or a game master or game designer, whatever term you want to use, always has that like thing of like, if I was independently wealthy and I would love to have the leisure time to like have a campaign world where we would zoom over to like the epic battle and play like, not Risk, but some sort of big war game, and then we'd zoom into the RP stuff and then zoom back out. And
Lord of the Rings Risk.
Maybe I did that once.
Risk
Johnny,
22. Do I 22
Called
times?
War for the Ring.
We're playing Return to Dark Tower, which uses the polymorph system that powers many of the games from 9th Level. You longtime fans may recognize this system that was also used in Mazes. So if you like the system, want to see more of it, go check out those videos. In addition to what we're doing here. To see us play through this game as well. And really just go through those videos because we want you to watch as many of our different series as possible. All right.
Our show.
Yes.
It's pretty great.
If we do say so ourselves.
If we do say so ourselves. It's
Most days. No.
So, we brought together 4 mind players. So we're going to go around the table and have them introduce themselves. And their characters. Now, before we get into that, I do want to say that Return to Dark Tower features something that I've always called troop-style play, which is a fancy way of saying that you don't always necessarily play the same character that you make. Sometimes you play a sidekick, sometimes you play a minor character. A good example of this, again, as long as we're plugging other shows, is if you go to our Star Trek Adventure show, that game also has a sort of a troop style play. So tonight, we're going to be splitting the difference between the first arc and the second arc, featuring two main hero characters and 2 companion characters. Let's go around the table. Have everybody introduce yourself, your character, and whether you are what role your character is. So Paragon, Fighter, etc., etc., etc. One of the things about the polymorph system is that you roll 1 die, and that's it, and that kind of identifies your bit. So go around the table, introduce yourself, your character. The role that they occupy, and whether you are a hero or companion. So let's start with our first mind player.
Hi, it's me, Tawny P. Thompson, she, hers, and I will be playing the Griffin, who is a devious swindler. That's my hero character. She rolls the D10.
Let's move on to our next mind player.
Oh, hello, I am Sarah Babe, she, they, and I am playing the companion, Old Ned.
And what die does...
Old Ned has a D10.
All right. Let's move on to our next mind player.
Hello. My name is Ethan X. Anderson, he, him, and I am playing Once Dead Jake, a companion who rolls a d4.
And last but not least, stepping out from behind his board.
Hi, I'm Brad Davies. He, him. I'm going to be playing as Baelor, the Dour archetype, and I am a sword paragon, rolling a d4.
All right. So, when last we met, during our session 0, we decided that the important thing to do, the first step to face the adversary that we have created, the adversary calling itself the Golden God, who is currently in possession of the body of King Gideon, who may or may not be your father.
May or may not.
Probably may.
Unconfirmed.
Well, we'll see. And the Golden God was looking for to open to protect his heart by putting it inside an artifact called the Arterial Astrolabe. And in the process of discussing this, the heroes had discovered that there is a journal by the creator of the astrolabe called Rhythm's End, and that journal is stashed away inside the catacombs of the celestial clock, and that is where we begin our particular session. This system advises players to get to the good stuff. So this is not the system of, well, okay, let's go to the shop, and well, okay, let's go to the thing, and now we walk and maybe roll a random encounter and blah 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 blah. No, boom, cut to there you are in the jungle. And so that is where we find our heroes and companions as they make their way to the catacombs of the celestial clock. Now, someplace called the catacombs implies that it's going to be dirty and dingy and underground, but that is not the case with the catacombs of the celestial clock. It is located in the part of the Four Kingdoms called the Throne, and it is in fact the world's first and only clock tower.
Oh.
So imagine a cathedral-like structure with a massive four-faced clock tower looming over the city.
So the Ellen Bradley clock tower.
Well, that's what or Big Ben for our international students.
I mean, technically the Ellen Bradley clock tower is the largest clock tower.
Oh, Lord.
I'm sorry, the largest clock face. So Big Ben can, take that.
Somebody's been paying attention during her Milwaukee history seminars. But instead of the sort of the arc, the like flying buttresses and that sort of arc style of architecture, think of it as something more jagged and more brutalist and Lutheran and hey, you understand though, right?
I do, but it's funny.
Sometimes game mastering is using flowery prose. Sometimes you just get a reference to people go, oh,
yep, gotcha. Good for.
So you have discovered through your shadowy, shifty contacts and whispered streets and missives from Mr. the Knife, that Rhythm's End is located in the securest spot of the the catacomb. Maybe I should have called it the cathedral. Oh well. Too late now.
The clock-a-comb?
No.
Not a clock-a-comb?
No.
Because then it sounds like you're going to say
Cataclock?
Ooh,
it looks like you've got cataclock right there, Mike.
What time is it? Oh, cataclock.
Yeah.
It's located at the top of the tower. I mean, this game is called Return to Dark Tower. Of course, they're going to start with a tower.
Absolutely.
Like,
There's
why
a
not?
tower there, of course.
Because this the catacombs are where the people of the tower, indeed all of the kingdoms, come to pay homage to those who have gone before into the afterlife. So one of the issues in getting to that secure location is that there is a massive room of people in the on the ground floor milling about and praying to shrines and doing all the stuff that you would do at a place where you're supposed to, remember the dead. In addition to that, this is, laying out the heist here. There are where in the balcony area, those are essentially private rooms that wealthier members of society can go for private mourning, and in fact can consort with the spirits of their ancestors through a collection of priests / artifacts called the Breathless, who are essentially enchanted skulls that take any requests from the supplicants and those seeking guidance and prayer, head into the catacombs and the crypts in the next floor above, track down the spirit of the ancestor that is being questioned, and then bring back an answer to the people who are asking. And for those of you who are wondering, if you're rich enough, you get one of these guys as your own personal guide. The
So,
poor have to wait for now serving for number 42, as there's
Smith family number 10.
Right.
Family number 10.
The level above that is where all of the bodies and souls are interred. And then the topmost level is the vault, where the most prized possessions of these families are located. Sometimes they've been donated as museum pieces. Sometimes they're held there while families bicker about who gets the cool magic sword. And that is where Rhythm's End is located. The rumors that you have heard are that the living cannot enter the vault at all. So imagine this spiraling around the tower, and that's why. It's the catacombs, because the rich people have the cool tombs up here, but if you're poor and broke, then you're just sort of dumped into the catacombs beneath the tower.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
The ossuary pits?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All
right.
Okay.
Surrounding so imagine those parts of are surrounding the tower, and then in the middle, that's the grand mechanism for the clock, and it's a lot of chains and stone weights and chung 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 gong chung 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 gong chung 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 gong.
Does the ossuary pit have a millstone that slowly grinds the bones to dust?
Why? No. What is wrong with you?
Because it returns
Otherwise-
from dust to dust. We return.
And otherwise it's going to fill up. Wow, poor people.
Yeah, no, he's right.
I love
Yeah.
that.
God damn it.
I hate it. I love it.
Yeah. Disgusting.
It's the worst. And you're fucking right.
Yeah, so
God
then you
damn
just,
it.
it's constantly.
The wheels of time roll on.
Yeah, it's a reminder that your time will end, and at some point you'll return to dust. And in my head, the people.
Do they sell,
Bread.
do they sell time hourglasses
I was
full
just.
of the dust?
Fuck yes,
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, of course they do.
Put that at a merch store. Come on.
Well, in my head also, like, if you go to pay homage to your kin or whatever, like the little tiny area that they give you, you actually set a clock to the time that they passed away, and then you like, that's when you have your little service. So you're like, you remember.
Or maybe that's where, so like they sell them that you can take them home, and that's when you take them to like make your private prayers. But
Play board games with.
In the, I'm sorry.
Play board games with.
Listen,
Try to keep people in the family. Family game night continues.
when I pass,
In nomine Catani.
Monopolium.
All right, that's the setup. You've got to figure out how to get through all the people at the bottom. You got to get through the rich people up top.
Is there a barrier between these rooms and the clockwork mechanisms in the center?
No. I mean, you'd have to be crazy to actually climb up the clockwork pieces of the.
Feels like the only downfall is either getting crushed or falling into the pit.
That's probably why
think old Ned
why
would do
nobody
it.
ever does it.
Could I mean,
So actually, why don't we take a moment and have everybody introduce their characters as you walk into the atrium. I don't know. It's not the lobby.
the foyer.
Well,
the atrium?
the atrium aeternum.
God.
So who wants to introduce their character first?
I gotta look something up before I do.
I can go. The Griffin is kind of trying to lay low a little bit, as she usually does. She's not particularly tall. She's pretty slight of frame. And as of right now, she looks a little shady. She's got kind of slightly oversized clothing, hood up on her shirt, and definitely looks like the shifty type of person who probably has 15 knives hidden, and you could tell her to give you all the knives, she's gonna have 5 more somewhere else. I don't think she's leading the group. She's kind of trying to blend with the group and just like take stock of how many people are here. Does she see anybody she recognizes, etc.?
Okay. Who of the 3 here? Who do you see first?
Probably Baelor?
Okay. So the camera pans over to Baelor, who
And he was actually here probably first, maybe, but he got distracted because he was talking with people. He's a world traveler, likes to see the world and see everything that it holds and how things work and how people work in this world. He is wearing like an earth-toned tunic that has a apron laid over the top of it, kind of like a carpenter's apron that cuts off just a little above the knees, but it's also split so you can move in it. And he has like a leather vest on underneath it. But all around him, he has like chisels, and he has like a hammer hanging off him, like anything for like wood crafting or any type of like artificing or making things. He has kind of hanging off his person that are small tools, rulers and everything like that. And he's got that slightly ruddy but maybe dirty complexion. Like he's been working at a workshop, and he just washed up as much as he could. He's got large like mutton chops with the clean chin thing. They connect up together with a bald head, and he's I'm sorry for loss. Please tell me about your loved one, and what brings you here.
Okay, so he's kind of working the room a little.
Yeah, he's working the room a little bit, and he's talking, and like even the breathless, he's like, oh, what marvelous construction. And he's kind of trying to figure out how they work.
Sorry, that's my impression of the breathless. Like it's just the like I kind of imagine it as like a floating skull covered in sigils and tattoos and that kind of thrum with arcane energy, but their eyes are still in the sockets and are still alive and looking, and so you just see the sort of grinning visage of.
Yeah, and I pull out a tape measure and start measuring them. And what happens when I poke one? Touch it.
I think there's like a little spark of arcane energy that like zaps you. That's basically
Fascinating.
Don't do that.
Oh, sorry.
So who catches you trying to touch one of these things?
Old Ned,
Sure.
maybe. Yeah.
I think maybe old Ned is the person who's like, don't do that.
I picture old Ned as Soren from the Dragon Prince.
Oh,
So the brother, because he's armored, tough, and young.
Okay.
Old Ned is young. You don't want to touch that.
Well, I just
You don't want to touch that.
couldn't believe what would happen.
Just trust me. You don't try to pick it up for whatever you do.
Listen, son, I've been zapped before by arcane energy, and this wasn't.
No. You don't. It gets worse.
As they're bickering, I think there's like a young man with his arm around an older woman who is veiled, and he's like, "It's okay, Mom. We'll talk to Dad next time." And they pass right through old Ned. You're a ghost, right?
I think so. Yeah, that's right. I am. I'm a ghost.
Well,
I forgot about that.
Maybe we had that moment where you're like, "Ah,
Oh.
yeah."
Oh God, that's right. I'm dead.
You're a ghost.
Yeah, I'm a ghost head.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how I know you
Wow.
shouldn't touch it.
wait, did they zap you to death?
Why would I lie to you?
Anyways, what do you know about this place then?
Well, if you
Show me around.
Well-
And I'm sure I'm talking like to the air. Of course, they probably.
Rob,
Mhm.
does the royal family have their own specific, like, dedicated chamber that they can come to at perhaps any hour of the day?
They probably have their own chamber, but I don't think you can just show up. I think
Okay, it has to be
rather.
scheduled.
Well, I will say that if you just showed up, it would be very like, "Oh, well, we didn't.
We weren't prepared for this.
Please, So you could do it, but
It would.
it would.
Draw
There
some
is a
heat.
there is
It
a
would draw some
commotion
heat.
that could be caused.
Okay. Okay, just for future reference.
no.
Not that anybody
que-
needs to know what.
Good question. How do you enter the scene here?
Onstead Jake is a kid of about 14 who kind of weaves his way through the crowd standing next to other families as if he belongs. He's like a put-together kid that kind of blends in everywhere he goes. So he's hopping family to family to get unnoticed until he reaches this crowd of miscreants.
Oh, and I'm sure that's how like you tag into the group is like,
Mhm.
oh, and son, what are you here for? Where are your family? And here, let's show you around. And then that's how we, yeah.
Mhm.
You hear the occasional gong, which signifies that okay, next in line to speak to one of the Ossuarians is what the sort of the minders and guards and priests are called. So where did the four of you come together here? Like, I'm assuming you arranged some sort of like spot.
I think we should come together right now
Oh God.
Over here.
over me.
I would think that there would be kind of a corner that's slightly less peopled, like a okay, this is the silent zone where you meditate on your family if you
The
can't.
part where the suspicious people meet.
Yeah. Did Did I
Highest corner, party of 4. Highest corner, party of 4.
did I put us in for our family funeral for old Uncle Ed? And like that
When you
that's
were there
the code,
earlier?
Yeah, that's the code word is like yeah.
Okay.
What would be like it'd be like old Uncle Ed Underhill or something what's a good
Proud foot.
Proud
feet.
Uh,
No one.
Gold toe.
yeah.
Hartman.
Hartman. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're there for Ed Hartman. So yeah, I've got our ticket. And
Ed Hardy.
He's a pretty colorful fellow. Got a lot of. He's good at drawing shit.
Welcome to this ancient land of sword and sorcery. Ed Hardy, party of 4. Party of 4, please. You gather in the corner. You two have made direct contact, and then the other heroes basically were like, "We'll send you our best folks."
yeah, and we kind of met them here and like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah.
Mhm. You're like, oh, of course, the witch would send a ghost, and
Ooh.
and the arbalester would send one of
Some weird kid.
one of his many
Yeah.
apprentices.
I'm sure once we get into the little hutch or whatever, it's like, okay, so now it's down to business is like, oh, and what's your relation to Hartman?
Oh, he was our uncle. And we're all just we were scattered. First time we've been back together in near on a decade
And
here.
I knew him directly, and you must have been the Griffin side.
Yeah. He on my mother's side, thrice removed. If you if you do the math, yeah.
I believe you could call me Old Red Ned.
Okay.
My uncle is very smiley. Uncle Jack.
Uncle Jack.
And he sent me in his place because he couldn't be here.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to make
Yeah.
it. Well,
Ms. Red Betty. Oh God, I'm turning into you. Okay. Miss Red Betty does send her regards.
excellent. Well, thank you for showing up. I'm sure old Mr. Hartman would be so thrilled.
Just so proud to have us all back together here.
What should we do about his good book?
The good book.
I think we should. God damn it! How is this happening?
You guys don't have a barrier in between anymore.
Oh my God, we don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just straight from your. God damn it!
Straight from my drawl to you.
You're no kidding. I think it would be a good idea if we get his book and
Yes. It was so important to him.
yes.
There's some great recipes in there I've been meaning to try.
Oh my gosh, the cookies.
Mm-hmm.
The cookies.
Now, here's my thought is we can run a distraction and run some people up towards the book.
Okay.
And then we could win the annual baking contest.
Right, with the
Recipes.
Can I ask why we're talking in so much code?
I have no idea.
I assumed if we were called to where we were going to be, we might be being listened to
By a creepy skull.
by a creepy
Yeah.
skull.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think also it was more a we are all who we think we are, right? And then once we
Yes.
that's what I think it is.
Can I talk to one of the skulls and be like, yo, you listening, bro?
I think let's make a roll to see if you can.
Cool. How do I do that?
So I need you to roll your die,
Books?
and it's going to be a books roll here.
Okay. So
So you need to hit a 2. So here, actually, let's explain how the dice work.
okay.
So every player rolls one die, one type of die based on their character class.
D10 for me right now.
I asked them to make one of 4 rolls, either books, boots, blades, or bones. And each of those rolls has a specific target number that that fits. So rather than, oh, this is more difficult, you need to roll high. Oh, this is easy, you need to roll low. You kind of need to hit a particular pair of numbers. But if you roll a 1, that is called your banner, which basically means that if you have an edge, which every character has a few edges that help define their character, that would make it possible. Or if you hit the top number of the die type, that's called a reinforce, and that basically means that each hero has a band of companions that follow them around and do stuff, and if you roll a reinforce, that means that depending on where the light is in the game, and right now we are in the light phase of the game, one of the other companions jumps in and helps out. Go ahead and roll that D10. Books is what you're trying to hit. What did you roll?
I rolled a 6.
Okay, that is not within the books area. So,
But it is in the reinforce.
Only if you're shooting for
Only if you're rolling a d6.
a D6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's the
Oh.
top of the die.
Oh.
that you're rolling.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay. Thank you.
The Breathless does not respond to your request.
Bruh. Broseph. Brosefini. Yo.
I'm gonna let you know right now. They
What?
don't. I mean, he's not gonna answer, but he'll listen.
Someone told me once not to touch them.
Yeah, that was me.
Maybe you shouldn't talk to him either.
What?
And the Breathless Skull also now starts to tilt a little bit.
Oh, you
Have
broke
I
it.
ever seen that happen before? Have I ever seen that happen before, Rob?
Give me a books roll.
I am tilting exactly as much as the skeleton is.
To 1.
I rolled a banner.
Oh, so do any of your what edges do you have?
Lucky, keen, charming, and dexterous.
And what was the last one?
Dexterous.
Dexterous.
Dextrose.
Yeah, I don't think any of those fit.
Keen?
No. Well,
no.
I mean, keen might work.
okay. We'll give you kind of a clue here, as opposed to like this is what's going on. The head is tilting. It reminds you of when a dog hears a weird noise and is trying to like identify it.
Yo. Broseph.
I'm thinking that, can you help us find our uncle? I say to the skull. Right. Good. Oh.
Why won't you talk to me?
You're a ghost.
It's looking at me.
And then it starts to fly towards you.
Oh.
Kind of
Hello.
loops around your head,
Yes.
and then out of the private area, out of the silent area, as if to say, "Follow me, please."
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Let's
Are the skulls like inside a cloak? So when they're moving around, it looks.
Like a floating cloak.
They are now.
I honestly saw them as just like big floating skulls.
Like Mort from Planescape Torment or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nerd.
I guess that means we should follow.
Okay.
We follow.
The skull is leading you towards a pair of Ossuary. Ossuarians. And these are like the hooded guys. I think they actually have like a veiled hood so that you don't see their face.
Good afternoon. We're looking for our uncle, Ed. Maybe you can.
Are you aware of the spirit in the room?
Yes. He's a good friend.
Hi, I'm Ned. Nice to meet you.
You are not lost.
No.
Very found.
Totally know I am.
He's attached to me. Very, very attached. Where
You're my favorite.
he helps me out with my workings. I think we're here to see our Uncle Hartman. I
Ed.
think he might be on the upper levels.
Edward.
We didn't.
He's definitely on the upper levels.
We've been we come from out of town. And I just grabbed a number. We're trying to really figure this out as we go. Is there any way that we could get up there to see if he's there, or?
I mean, that's your whole deal, right? You
Like, I imagine these guys in the big, like,
Ghost
black
of Christmas
billowy...
future.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
like they spend all this money on the brutalist cathedral. They got to make it up somewhere, and then, so they just went to Spirit Halloween.
They're so comfy. They're so comfy.
Touch the breathless, speak his name, and they will seek the spirit and bring it to you.
Can I
touch the breathless?
Can I do something that I think is really slick right here?
Can I check and see if that is slick?
What I'd like to do is very quietly touch the breathless and say the name of one of my actual ancestors who are very much on the upper levels.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that, but you're trying to do it in a like
a don't.
Okay.
What
does that pass your
Sniff test?
I was basically gonna see what happens if you lie to him.
But see, we want to get to the higher levels, and I know what's going to get us to the highest levels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try it.
So wait, am I supposed to be lost? Because I don't want to be lost. I mean, I've always known where I am. I have very good direction. I know east. I know west.
And while she's distracting him.
Yeah.
Bam!
I'm just going to let it happen because I think that's
I touch the...
I also think it's a very good and smart idea.
I touch the breathless and I whisper under my breath, Gideon Felix Navarro de Serafis the First.
The breathless rattles for a second and then bows forward and heads up through the central, spiraling upwards through the central.
Looks like we found old Uncle Ed. We're gonna thank you so much for this. We're gonna just we're gonna dip out of here.
Oh my god, am I lost?
We can find you.
You're not. You're not.
You were, but we found you.
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness.
Red Betty found you.
Red Betty.
Now,
Bam, blam.
to get up to the VIP dead champagne rooms, you do need to have money. Like you have to like spend it.
Mm.
Now we didn't talk about this ahead of time, but one of the things that you do in this game is you choose the level of treasure that you bring to a job, and that's sort of an abstract representation of like, you know, all your gear and stuff and things like that. However, when you pick up treasure, that also gives me darkness points.
Oh. Okay.
Which I can then spend to make your life more difficult later down the line. So
right.
To get into the VIP rooms, well, you guys should figure out how much treasure you're taking or bringing on the job. I will also state that to get to the VIP rooms, that's going to require 1 treasure.
What skill is pickpocketing?
Dexterous? Lucky?
That'd probably be
I think it's boots.
That's going to be boots,
yeah.
That's a boots.
Boots and cats. Oh, boots and cat.
I think we each bring maybe one treasure.
I probably don't.
I don't know what the range is for what is a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like I would bring 2-ish.
Actually, yeah. 2, 1, probably 0.
I'm a ghost.
0. Maybe 1.
I was going to say, as I recall from the last time that we played Mazes, which admittedly I'm kind of taking these rules from, I feel like you guys agreed on like everybody gets like 1 per person is a good start level. And also, you should know that darkness works slightly differently than it did here
mazes.
than it does in mazes. So you don't have to worry about the darkness level going up until after the adventure, because it's more of a broad this is how it reflects the influence of the adversary and the tower as they reach their shadowy tendrils out into the...
So this adventure we have a lot, and next adventure we deal with it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's future TMP's problem. Bye, guys! Boy, I should sure feel bad for the people who are in charge for the next adventure.
I still think 2101.
Either that or 3210. Because Richie Rich over there.
Either that, or I honestly would say, if you want to make a boots check to basically lift the key to one of the basically find a rich-looking family, because you already said you were kind of scouting them out.
Yeah.
I'll carry this.
Find a rich-looking family, lift the room key from them, and go in there, and use that as your next base of operations. That sounds like a fun risk, so I would be okay with taking it if you don't want to worry about...
Great to me.
Yep.
Okay, so that is a boots check, which means you've got to roll a 3, 4, or a 5.
Anything but a 2. I got a 3.
Hey.
Nice.
Okay. So, do you want to describe the family? I feel like we got to come up with a better name than Dead Guy Champagne Room.
The memoriam.
It's called a Mori. Memento Mori.
You can spend weekends with it.
No, that's a Bernie.
It's Tuesdays. Spend Tuesdays with him.
So do we want to do a brief flashback of you, because we've already previously established that you were kind of glomming onto families and weirdly inserting yourself into pictures and things like that. And so how do you just do it? How do you get the key card from the? How do you get the key? Because I think it is, of course, it's a gear.
Oh, so you put the gear in and it turns the thing.
Yep. Activates a little door from the. Yep.
Of course.
Yep.
I feel like we're definitely mixing in a strain of 40K Death Skull magic in here, which is fine.
I think it's basically switching between. Are there? How do I put this? What's the word? Choir boy assistants? What's that word I'm thinking of?
Oh,
like pages?
No, it's
Acolyte?
No.
Fire boys.
No, it's the fudge
Altar
nuggets.
boy.
Altar boys.
Yeah. Like runners for the church?
Yeah.
You tell me.
Okay, because my thought was basically switching between pretending to be with families and then in front of families pretending to be
An altar boy.
an altar boy.
They're called innocents.
Innocence. And accepting gears from them as a transition point. And then just pocketing them and continuing on.
Nice.
So basically putting on the robes of an innocent, walking up to one and you grab a family that's leaving, and you're like, oh, well, make sure this gets back right where it goes.
And then losing the robes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Nice.
I kind of like how this is turning into Magic's 11 here. Sorcerer's 11. Ooh, I think that's a title for the show. You guys go up the stairs to the Mori, and you place the gear into the door, and and the whole thing kind of I imagine it kind of rotates like a big booth almost.
I'm taking note of how this gearage actually works, because that's probably going to come in.
Is the one side always rotating from the power of the clock and the grinding, and then you just kind of have to slip your gear in to activate it?
Time.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Can I just walk through it?
Probably not.
These
They
are
got
probably
runes.
warded.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Can you touch things?
Actually, I bet it's probably, you're probably like, oh, can I walk through this? I'm like, they might have runes, and that's when I start to touch the wall to see what they have.
No, you can walk through it.
Okay.
You feel like yeah, you get like a shiver, like you get a weird shiver as you go through it. So you get and you have a moment of like
you walked over someone's grave.
no, like this building has power in it, and you just kind of like. You just did the battery tongue test.
Oh, like I stuck my finger in a broken light bulb.
Yeah, and you just got like a quick like ugh. As
Straight into the royal chambers.
Right. As you made your way inside the mooring. And inside it's actually very nice. There's like plants, there's like wine jugs and like
Oh my gosh, Rob, was it actually like an alarm that I set off? So like somebody's
We'll
going to
get there.
shove the okay.
Oh, God.
I'm actually going to check the walls now that now that we've already seen old Ned float through a wall. I'm going to ooh, I wonder if there are wars or something. And I'm going to start looking through the walls and seeing what type
give me another books check here.
books and books and books. 3.
Okay.
I have books.
So these walls aren't warded because sometimes the breathless will bring the full, like if the full spirit wants to like have a chit chat with the family, they bring them with.
Okay.
But
Oh, God. Did he bring the spirit with him?
we'll see.
Oh, God.
Dude, you asked it for a thing. Of
I
course he's gonna
know,
give
but
it. Oh no,
it
it's
got us up
the
to the highest levels. You're welcome.
it's the consequences of my action.
Says the guy who went through the wall.
Yo.
But the power that goes in that goes into this building is fascinating to you, and you think, and you feel like that maybe those rumors that there are runes carved somewhere in this building that like that arcane energy is basically grounding out through the rest of it. And so it's coming from somewhere, and you assume it's up top.
It's coming from inside the house.
I have a terrible idea.
I like this.
Oh, no.
Can I pull out like one of my gadgets that I've had and draw some of this power out of the wall into it like an arcane battery?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a...
Fuck around and find out. Roll.
And that would be oops.
I'm going to go with a bones roll, actually.
Ooh.
Oh no. I'm terrible about bones. I don't think I can actually hit a bone.
No, you can, because if you hit
'cause I have to explode.
a banner or a reinforce.
I mean,
50% chance.
nope.
Okay.
Nope. I mean, I did
So-
say I had a terrible idea, so. So yeah, I
I'm
started
going-
like chipping at the wall and like trying to plug my like.
Is this an outlet? Nope. Is that an outlet? Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, for the future, I should also let everybody know that everybody has a spirit rating equal to their die type. Or not, actually, no, it's not equal to the die type. D4s have spirit 4, D6s have spirit 3, D8s have spirit 2, D10s have spirit 1. And this basically reflects like you like spending a point to like, oh, if only we had a Holocaust cloak, or or you want to take the narrative and be like, let me show off my whip ass sword fight move.
Okay.
You can just do that. However, because I already asked you to roll, and I also want to show off the consequence rolls here. So go ahead and take a point of danger.
Ooh.
So in this version of in Return to Dark Tower, there aren't like health levels or hit points or things like that. There is danger. And danger is important to note because you basically just sort of keep adding it on, and one of two things happens. Either you make a danger save and you fail it, in which case your character takes a consequence, or it lingers on till the end of the story, and then any leftover danger gives the adversary power to use to advance their agenda.
Of course it does.
Of course.
It's almost like you're on a highway to the danger zone.
Like Ethan said, it's danger. You should watch yourself.
Oh my god.
Show me.
So, but that means when you get a danger, you have to make a danger roll. A danger roll!
Danger roll! Made it. So I'm over it.
Yeah, you got to roll over it.
We've only rolled 3s.
Yeah!
Once we're inside, does the skull stick around, or does he, go to find the soul?
Oh, the skull went to find the soul.
Okay.
Like, this is all you just hanging out.
Can
here.
we-
This is me screwing around with stuff.
I would love to
on
poke around. I've got some climbing gear, and I'd love to poke around and see if I can find some way we can bust through the walls or something and climb through the ventilation tubes.
So you open up your mourner's robe, and I'm assuming it's like stacked with like
Oh yeah, knives,
grappling hook,
climbing
knife,
gear.
blah blah blah,
I got a deck of cards in there,
and
play some euchre.
and
Duck of
you
cards?
grab you start grabbing your climbing claws and your
Pittons.
pitons or piton if you want to be fancy about it. You're more outdoorsy than me. I trust you. But the door to the Mori starts to open.
I slide my cloak back shut.
And the Breathless arrives and pauses. And except it's got this weird... I mean, it's a floating skull, so it's already pretty weird.
Mm-hmm.
But now it has this, like, glow.
Aura.
And it breathes out this cloud that swirls for a second, and a form appears that anybody except you who wants to make a books roll. Remember, you don't have to, because if you fail it, you take a point of danger.
I made it.
Ooh,
Made it.
the key's a 1?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I got it.
What are your edges?
Armored, tough, and young.
I don't think any of those
Okay.
fit. So you fail, take a point of danger.
Here's a question. Could I use one of Red Betty's edges?
Not right now.
No, but okay, fine.
And then make a danger roll, please.
Is it the same dice?
Yep, same die.
I rolled a 9.
Okay, you're fine. The three of you recognize the form.
Uh-huh.
The ancient King Gideon.
Great.
First of his name.
Great.
Second, Ed Hardy.
And that is where we end our episode here tonight. Please join us next
Sorry,
time
y'all.
for Act 2 of our trip to Dark Tower. Until then, just repeat to yourself, it's only a game. I should really just relax.
Who could have seen that coming?
Congratulations, fellow human! You've reached the end of an exciting episode of Theater of the Mind Players. If you enjoyed our story, please like the video. If you want more games, subscribe to our channel. Attack the bell for notifications on new posts. If you liked the episode, please tell us what you enjoyed the most in the comments. If you loved the episode, consider joining our Patreon. You'll get access to special shows, session zeros, and help us determine what we play on the show. We love our friends of Pat Rayon, and we hope to see you there.